You're tuned into No Good Music.
Here are your hosts, Rob and Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely crowd tonight.
Yeah. Hey, everyone, this is Rob.
And this is Matt.
We are reviewing the Bob Dylan biopic, Complete Unknown. We saw that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, just came out Christmas Day, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we weren't able to get there.
Yeah, I
right
think
away.
we saw it the last week it was out.
Yeah.
So before we tell you what we think, I just tell you a little bit about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The film premiered in Los Angeles. It says December 10th. That's when it premiered. And it's a biographical musical drama film directed by James Mangold. And it was co-written. It says co-wrote. I don't know if that's the right word. With J. Cox. Yeah. About the American singer-songwriter Bob Dylan.
No, I was very preset in my ways. I was a character that I already was. I wasn't neither here nor there to me.
What? Who was that? What was that? So it's actually based on a 2015 book, Dylan Goes Electric, by Elijah Wald. Not the kid from, Lord of the Rings. No, Elijah Wood. Portrays Dylan through the earliest his folk music success until the momentous controversy over his use of the electric instruments. And we got, let's see, the film's 140 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And it really didn't feel like,
Yeah, it's good length.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And now I was thinking about this because, there's certain artists, musical artists, even actors that have, as they, like Dylan is 84, I think.
Right.
So you can't put everything about him into a movie from start to finish. So you got to pick a certain period of time, maybe something that stands out. And this movie starts with him coming to New York.
Right, and that's 1961.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it ends with the Newport Folk Festival in Rhode Island, 1965.
That's right.
That was the year I was born.
Yeah, so 4 years straight in the movie. Yeah.
So the film cost, believe it or not, $70 million. How much do you think the film made, Matt?
240 million. I don't know.
120.
Yeah.
So at least they made a profit.
Yeah.
Because like I said, when we saw it was like the last run. I mean, you can stream it now. When the movies first come out to stream, they're like, $20. I don't know, or maybe you have to buy them.
Yeah.
I don't buy streaming movies, but if I were to see it again, I'd want to pay $5 or something.
Yeah, and there was a good crowd there when we were there.
Yeah. Yeah, and this
more than halfway full.
Yeah, when did we go? Did we go in the afternoon?
Yeah,
it was a good afternoon crowd, and I think it was a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the cast, let's say tell the cast: Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan.
Chalamet.
You might.
I'm sorry, that's from last week.
I don't know what.
This is ridiculous.
Okay.
Chalamet. That's Adam Sandler last week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Chalamet.
Yeah, he was at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Now you might remember him from Wonka, and Dune 1 and 2.
Huh.
Dune 2 Electric Boogaloo. No, I'm just you always have to say that.
Yes, Dune 2 Electric Boogaloo.
And then we have Edward Norton, not the guy from the old Honeymooners show, but the actor.
Yes, the new Ed Norton.
Did an incredible job. I was hoping he'd win Best Supporting Actor. This movie didn't win any awards.
Yeah.
It was nominated for like, I don't know, 6, 7, awards. So Ed Norton was in Fight Club, The Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Elle Fanning, she plays Sylvie Russo. She was in I Am Sam, Daddy Daycare. She is the sister of Dakota Fanning, who is, I think, her older sister. We have Monica Barbero. She did an incredible job as Joan Baez.
Yeah.
She was in Top Gun Maverick. Robert Holbrook is Johnny Cash. Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, which I still have to see.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that. And Scoot McNairy.
Scoot.
That's his nickname.
Scooter.
As Woody Guthrie.
Yeah.
He was in Batman versus Superman and Night Bitch.
Yeah. I've heard of Night Bitch.
I've seen Night Bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know about that movie?
Yeah.
This woman thinks she has these carnivorous,
longings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she thinks she's a dog or something.
Yeah. Turns into a bitch at night.
Yeah. It's actually a decent
Just
film.
saw the trailer for it. Yeah. I watched the trailer for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like the movie, and again, it only covers a certain period of time. I thought Timothée Chalamet was very believable, and I think it's an actor who isn't super famous. If you had Ben Affleck as Bob Dylan.
Oh, it was so much better having him there than someone that's fulfilling all those other roles.
Yeah.
For me.
And no pun intended, but he's not really a complete unknown, Timothée Chalamet. But,
well, to me he was, because I don't watch as many films as you do. So yeah.
Did you see Wonka?
He was new to me. No, I did not see Wonka.
Okay.
So he was new to me.
Okay. Yeah, he had the voice down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he sang. Yeah, he sings.
Yes, he does. Yeah. And he was able to do that distant, standoffish air.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dylan. It's different.
He had a really great confidence in himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you really need a lot of confidence, a lot of chutzpah, to become, not even if you want to become famous, because Dylan didn't, but just to take you where you need to go.
Yeah.
And his goal was to come to New York and meet Woody Guthrie.
Yeah. That was in the first minutes of the film.
Yeah.
That's how it started out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who greets him? But Pete Seeger greets him.
Yeah.
To show him to an ill Woody Guthrie.
Now, Pete Seeger reminded me of one of the characters in A Mighty Wind. One of the folk singers.
Yeah.
He's very really timid, very
right. I think
mellow,
I think he was told to play that part. I never met Pete Seeger, but I wonder if he is actually that way. But it is that way that most folk people are. I played in a folk band, an ancient folk band, and it's a culture. And Pete Seeger is that culture. It's a culture that leans left, of course, but it's to not offend. Yeah. And you could see that in him. Yeah.
And I think of maybe religion playing and family, and as opposed to the rock and roll lifestyle.
Right.
Just banging every girl you see. And the total opposite.
Yeah, but not so much. Just my take on it. Not so much the religion, but there's an overlap there. But it's even more than that. Even if they're all atheists, it's to which people were in my folk band. But to just be kind to others and to not offend others. That's tops. That's peak.
Yeah, it's a very
and
peaceful.
You can see it. You can see it in his character. Yeah.
So most interesting, I think, behind the scenes is that Bob Dylan actually met with the director. So he does have involvement in the movie. There isn't any record of him seeing the movie, talking about the movie. But he met multiple times with the director before the movie was filmed, of course. And one point they read the script together.
Yeah, wow, I did not know
with Dylan reading his parts.
Awesome.
And I guess Jim Mangold did all the other parts. Joan Baez.
Yeah.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Don't you love me?
But Bob gave his blessing.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote notes on the script, little notes.
Cool.
And said, "Go with God."
Yeah.
That's what he said. And
how would he say that, though?
speaking of Woody.
Oh, my God.
Woody Guthrie. Right?
Yeah.
We see at the beginning, and he is actually in a psychiatric hospital, which was in fact Greystone in Morris Plains, New Jersey.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Do you know, from the beginning, I didn't see that it was psych. I thought, oh, he's ill.
Yeah,
He's ill.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really clear. But then you could see it later when you saw the workers and other people say, "Oh, this is an asylum." Yeah.
Well, he actually had, let's see here, Huntington's disease.
Okay.
So he was ill, but I don't know why he was in various hospitals. I read that after Greystone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had mentioned, we're going to mention this, we don't normally talk politics, but Woody wrote back in the 1950s about his landlord.
Mm-hmm.
He was living in Gravesend, New York. I've never heard of that town. And the landlord's name rhymes with chump.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's all we're going to say about that.
And the man's first name rhymes with dead.
What was this song called? Old Man Chump.
Yeah, Old Man Chump. Yeah.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
Change that first letter there. Or the first two.
It's the father of a famous chump. Yeah. So a song written about it. And that song was never, was written, but it was never recorded, and it's not out there. You can't find it and listen to it. I discovered that. It's a song that's written and was played.
Did I just read the lyrics then? I thought I heard it.
Oh, well, maybe you heard...
I think there's a recording.
Okay, so maybe there's a recording, but I thought there was no recording by Woody Guthrie of the song. Oh. But that he wrote it, he played it
maybe
live.
Maybe someone else.
And maybe someone recorded it live, or someone else played it. Yeah, but anyway, it's just a little detail there. Yeah.
So Woody was there from 56 to 61, and he died in 67 at the age of 55.
Wow.
Yeah. And he... let's see. And this disease is mostly inherited.
Huntington's disease.
Yeah. It's a neurodegenerative disease. It eventually, where you can't speak. Is that you or me? Mm-hmm. Here's some rumblings in the house.
The rumblings.
Rumbles in the house.
And it's not really explained in the movie. And unfortunately, his two daughters actually died of the disease both at the age of 41. Same age. Young, yeah. I don't know if they were twins.
Now, in the film, it really shows how Pete Seeger is his friend. He's there for him. He's always there. Yeah. Anytime Bob Dylan comes in to visit, the several times, Pete is greeting him, say, "Hey, what's up?" And Woody wasn't speaking. I don't think so in the film. And Pete's like, he wants to hear you play the harmonica. He wants to hear this. So acting as a host. Pete was acting as a host for Woody when people would come. Yeah, so that was interesting. Very caring. Again, it's that folk feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think he talks in the movie.
Yeah.
But now I have some fact versus fiction.
All right.
And this is taken from 2 interviews with James Mangold, Variety magazine.
Regarding the myth of Bob Dylan.
Yeah, and this is back, both interviews are from December 26th. So it was a day after the national or the U.S. release
of just recently. Gotcha.
And the other one's Entertainment Weekly. So Bob Dylan travels to New York, like we're talking about, explicitly to meet Woody Guthrie, and ends up crashing with Pete Seeger. This is the very beginning of the movie.
Right.
And he says, "This is true in spirit, if not in fact. Bob certainly arrived in New York and went to see Woody Guthrie. That was his whole goal. But Dylan did not first meet Guthrie at the hospital, nor Seeger at Guthrie's bedside.
Okay.
And even though Dylan was known to couch crash, it cannot be proven that he crashed at Pete Seeger's house.
Yeah, I wonder where he went. Yeah. So
they do,
take liberties.
Yeah, and Dylan read this script, so, and you got to make it a little bit interesting, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
So it wasn't as convenient as that. You know, you just don't walk in and, hey, you're greeted and have the great meeting.
Yeah.
You know, it's not your first,
Yeah.
It's not your first visit in New York here.
But it's very memorable. So in the movie, that he meets him in the hospital. This is his hero, like musical hero.
Yeah.
And here
For sure.
he can't even like talk. Yeah. Sylvie Russo was Dylan's first great love. And her character, they changed her name. Her real name is Susie, S-U-Z-E, Rotolo.
Susie Rotolo.
Instead of Russo.
Yeah.
It was Dylan's first love. The woman who appears with him on the cover of the Free Will and Bob Dylan album, where he's walking down the street. Bob requested that her name be changed because in real life she was a private person, not a public figure.
And what was her actual name again?
Susie, I guess S-U-Z-E.
Susie.
Susie Rotolo.
Rotolo. Okay.
Yeah, 3 O's.
Rotolo.
She did, before she is no longer with us, but she did write a book. She was a very private person, but actually wrote a book, which I'd be interested in reading.
Yeah.
I don't have the name here. Before, of course, she passed away.
Yeah.
But Bob still wanted, he only asked for a couple of things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That was one. Now, Bob and Susie, saw Now Voyager on their first date. Now, Bob was a film buff, but this was an invention, the director says.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan were longtime pen pals. It's 100% true. And the director knew of the letters. He makes passing mention of them. When he made mention of them in Walk the Line. It was the same director for the Johnny Cash movie.
And we saw that.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
He didn't get to read them until he was prepping for A Complete Unknown, because they still exist. And then one scene in the movie shows Johnny playing before Bob goes on at the 1964 Newport Folk Festival. He did play prior to Joan Baez, but Bob Dylan actually played 2 days later. So they,
Oh, okay.
little things.
Yeah.
Now, did Bob Dylan play on Pete Seeger's TV show? I assume it's a TV show. It could have been a radio show, but I assume it's...
Oh, that show. Yes, I remember the show now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As far as we can tell, he says this one is entirely fiction. Because the tapes are lost, like a lot of the tapes. So maybe he did, but you would think someone would have seen him play on there. His show is called Rainbow Quest.
Rainbow Quest.
Sorry. It aired in New York and New Jersey, and it featured folk, blues, and bluegrass musicians.
Yeah.
And this is the last one at the Newport Folk Festival. Actually, I said 64, it's 65.
65 was how the movie ended. Yeah. With that one.
Now, did a dismayed fan yell out Judas? To which Dylan replied, "I don't believe you." And then he kind of pauses. He's talking to the band. I've seen the video. And then he says, "You're a liar." No, not there. Now, this is strange because...
It comes from another place.
Well,
really?
This is the concert at Royal Albert Hall, which I just got and I just listened to. And I was doing some other stuff, probably notes on this. And I hear the guy
you heard
through
it.
My speakers.
At the Royal Albert Hall.
And there is video. And Dylan looks really annoyed. He looks really tense because he called him Judas, which it goes against. I read it goes against God. I'm not very.
So with Judas is the one who. So Judas, one of Jesus' disciples, sold out Jesus. Okay. So it's about selling out. He's by saying you're Judas, saying that you're selling out. Selling out Jesus for the 30 pieces of silver. Yeah.
But why would the guy be at a Dylan concert if he didn't like Dylan? This is what I don't understand.
I think he didn't like him. That's what it sounds like.
He wanted the moment and see what Dylan would say. CMF. Yeah. So this was 1966 concert. Like I said, it's from the bootleg series, and it was a bootleg before Dylan started putting out these bootlegs.
Are you talking about the Judas yelling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So they put those two together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if the inconsistencies, the myth versus fact, if that has anything to do with not getting the awards for the film. I'm just, when you look at it as a whole, bring it all together. Not sure about that. Yeah.
Well,
because it should be for acting, right? You're talking about the actual acting, and those inconsistencies shouldn't matter as much. But yeah, interesting.
I don't know how many actors were up for an award, but I know it's getting ridiculous with the Best Picture. There's 10 Best Pictures up for nomination. It used to be like 4, used to be 5.
Yeah. So you just have this really long list now. Yeah. So you can say you were nominated. Yeah.
But Edward Norton was great as Pete Seeger.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to a lot of Dylan. Matt and I both love Bob Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, probably even people listening now, can't stand his voice.
We say that he has a voice that might not make it on that show called The Voice.
Yeah.
It might not have made it.
Yeah.
If he had auditioned. Seriously, that's my opinion.
But this is early Dylan, and if you listen to some of his, there's one album. I think it's called Blonde on Blonde. I don't know. I might be making this up. But I know there's one album where I think it's the song, is it Lay Lady Lay? Where I read he quit smoking for a while.
Okay.
And his voice actually sounds smoother.
Wow.
I think it's, I don't know. In the beginning, his voice, now, oh my God, listen, he put out a Christmas album a couple years ago. Now, it's funny because
I did not know.
Even though the people that I really like, sometimes I make fun of.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's a compliment if I try to imitate you.
Like the Bon, the New Jersey Bon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bon.
John, yeah. Bon John.
But before Dylan put out the Christmas album, I had recorded a couple Christmas songs as Bob Dylan, Winter Wonderland. Walking in a Winter Wonderland.
Oh, D-Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jingle Bell Rock, I think.
Oh man, that would be good.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that works. That brings it all home. Family, friends, Santa. It just brings it all together.
I had my video taken down because I had said, "Is this a lost Bob Dylan recording?" And one of the Bob Dylan fanatics probably reported me.
Yeah.
And I did have pictures of Bob Dylan to go with it.
Oh, okay. You made it.
So what I did, I reposted it with something else. I think I drew Bob Dylan, and I didn't say this is Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's still on YouTube.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Maybe if you look up my name.
Yeah. So going into the film, I wasn't aware that it was going to be these 4 short years from 1961 to 1965.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also really, I guess I don't know Bob well enough, but also I was surprised at how much I was surprised by how much it focused on that tension between folk and the new stuff that he wanted to reach out and do.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the early 60s. This is 1964, 1965, when this tension is really building. Think about what's happening in rock and roll. I mean, this is rock and roll time.
Yeah.
This is primo.
Well, that's why they thought he sold out, because, a lot of people that were doing folk never got into, they didn't do a different genre.
Right. I think you didn't mix it as much.
If you were folk, if you were rock, you were rock.
Yeah. Right. So if you're rocking out completely, you're not going back. You're not going to folk. And like I mentioned, I was in that folk band, and it's a whole culture around the folkies, going to even in Virginia, the local folk festivals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's folk, and this was the mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
This was heading to 2010 and 2012, around in that time.
We should go to a folk festival.
Yeah,
we should.
But what I'm saying is, I already knew that, but I didn't know. I already knew that was happening in my own life with my band, but to go back to 1965 and see that's a big theme in the movie, and I didn't see that coming. When you and I went to watch it, I didn't see that coming. That one of the main themes would be this tension between folk and him reaching out to the electric guitar, to rocking it, to something that wasn't strict within folk genre. I was surprised. Yeah. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is some real stuff here. And we all know that it's better to reach out and do your own thing.
Yeah.
And cross genres, and everybody's doing it now. It's nothing. But we all know that it's good to, if you want to sing this new song and sing it differently, that is the better way to be yourself. That's how you will have integrity and get popular.
Yeah.
To be yourself. And
some artists are comfortable in doing similar stuff that they've always done, like AC/DC.
Yeah.
I always tell the joke, and I've told it before, is, Angus Young was, someone came up to him, and I don't get it exactly right, but he's like, you guys have, I don't know, say it's 10. You guys have 10 albums that all sound the same.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we have 12 albums. Or something.
And also,
yeah.
Right. And when we were at that awesome Smithereens concert, we're up towards the front. Me and you're standing up there, and this messenger comes down from the balcony and delivers that piece of paper. And Pat's like, "Oh, I got a message. I got a note from you up in the balcony." And he takes it, and this young woman hands it to him, and he reads it, and the Smithereens. I mean, it's a great show. It was rocking. It was at the State Theater at Falls Church, and he says, "Why do all your songs sound the same?"
Yeah.
So, the Smithereens, they rock out. They do the Smithereens stuff, It's, yeah.
And that the one last thing is the folk festival in 65. There was, I think I read there was like 17,000 people there.
Huh.
So, and not all of them were hating on Bob Dylan.
Right.
They said it depended on where you were standing, what group of people you were with, who were booing. So it wasn't like everybody was booing. They actually wanted to hear like a Rolling Stone, which I think was an electric.
Yeah.
Some people actually wanted to hear the new song. Pete Seeger did not take an axe. I mean, I know maybe you want to see them. We're not going to give away too much, but someone said that Bob Dylan, someone yelled, he's getting his axe, and it was actually Bob Dylan getting his guitar or something. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. They said Pete's wife did have to calm him down. He was pretty upset.
Yeah.
Because Pete had a lot to do with. He was probably one of the organizers. I assume. Yeah, I think he was one of the organizers of the festival.
Yeah.
But I'd really like to go to a folk festival. I know. Now I'm confused because there's the Newport Jazz. Is that in the same?
No. I thought that was.
Or is that a different Newport?
I thought that was down in Virginia.
Yeah. That's where.
No, that's in Norfolk. Norfolk Jazz.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, Norfolk Jazz Festival in Newport.
Yeah.
That was in Connecticut, Newport, Rhode Island.
I always think and then there's Newport News.
Yeah, which is near Virginia Beach. Yeah, I've got when we watched the movie. Yeah, I wrote a quote down by Bob Dylan, and it's special. Mm-hmm. And he said, in the movie he said, "People keep asking me where these songs come from. What they're really asking is why these songs don't come to them." End quote. And I like that. I like that. It's, where do you get these songs?
Yeah.
In other words, I wish I could write like that. And I've tried writing, and it's very difficult. Poetry and songwriting is very difficult. I'm not good at it. I tried. It's good to try new things. And it's absolutely so very difficult. And
I'm always writing lyrics in my phone, my notes.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know
that's
if
good.
they'll become songs, but
yeah.
My new one is about a cloud that's following someone that this cloud that wants to kill me. So I get these
always the horror theme with Rob.
Yeah.
Always the horror theme.
Yeah. Oh, a cloud. It's a cloud. Yeah. This cloud overhead. This cloud wants me dead or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have one last.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw this come up on Instagram, and it's a quote by Justin Bieber.
Oh, the Biebs.
Yeah. I was supposed to be Bob Dylan in that movie, but I was busy with chores. I don't know if he's... Yeah.
Johnny, could you take out the trash?
Yes, and there's a picture of the Biebs.
Yes,
Look at all serious. And then...
Chores. Are you... Come on. Did he really say
and then
chores?
Timothy Chalamet...
Did he really say chores?
Yeah.
Okay. There's the pictures that you're showing me.
So Timothy Chalamet says, what Bieber said is total bullshit. I have just as many chores as he does, probably more, and I fit it in just fine.
Yes.
I can't see Justin Bieber as Bob Dylan.
No.
Timothy Chalamet has that hair too.
Right. I want to also talk about in the film how that personality that is Bob Dylan. I wonder how true that is, because I've never met Bob. I didn't grow up with him. I wasn't hanging out with him in Greenwich Village in the 60s. But was he really that distant? Was he really that I'm doing my own thing? Like, I wonder if he was. I mean, maybe he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he was gone for a while, and he comes back, drunk, and has to sleep somewhere. And
I have a book for you, the Bob Dylan Chronicles.
Yeah.
I pulled it out, but if I can find it again.
So what's your opinion on that from reading the book?
I got a different impression that he was actually a family man. And
yeah.
Because you can't fill in the gaps because he was hardly ever interviewed. There's no...
Oh, he didn't too many interviews then.
And some of this stuff is what you perceive as someone being. And you only have this to go on.
Yeah.
You only have what other people have said about Bob Dylan. But what does Bob Dylan say about Bob Dylan? And this is a great book, the Bob Dylan Chronicles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's him writing this. This is him. It's not someone writing about Bob Dylan.
It could be the interpretation of someone who just who's famous and just wants to be left alone.
And they thought of him as standoffish, and he just didn't want to be bothered. He didn't want to be famous, I guess. He just wanted to do his thing.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this book is really good. It says volume 1. I don't know if there's going to be another one.
It's like Traveling Wilburys.
84.
Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that does it.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing the myth versus fact to the.
I really like the movie, and I think it's one I'll watch again. Maybe I missed something.
I'd like to see it again.
Yeah. And so everybody, thanks for listening. We just short little, trying to make the podcast a little shorter.
Yeah.
For your enjoyment.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
So remember, turn off that TV
and turn up the music.
You've been listening to No Good Music. Today's show was produced by Rob J. Lilly and recorded live and unedited at the Did You Say 7 Studios in Washington, New Jersey. You can find No Good Music on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and almost anywhere you listen to podcasts. Intro and exit music by the band 99%.